the latest news from the Las Vegas Raiders has shaken things up. And it's no small deal. A massive NFL name showed up in a scene no one saw coming, sparking debates and dividing opinions across the country. On the field, two key players were caught in a situation so unusual it turned into a negative highlight and left fans worried. And if that wasn't enough, there's a matchup ahead that could completely change the course of the season, bringing surprises almost nobody predicted. Believe me, every detail of these stories could directly impact the team's future. And it all starts with the episode that put Tom Brady back in the spotlight. Tom Brady's catching serious heat lately, and it's not because he's missing throws or botching commentary. Nope. This time it's all about how deep he's digging into the Las Vegas Raiders operations while also cashing checks as a top Fox broadcaster. On Monday night, the man was spotted chilling in the coach's booth during the Raiders matchup with the Chargers, and boom, social media and league insiders lit up like it was the fourth quarter of a playoff game. Fans were questioning what he was even doing up there, while league execs started wondering if TB12 is taking his minority ownership a little too seriously. The NFL was quick to step in, basically giving Brady a thumbs up and saying he didn't break any rules. But that little statement didn't exactly smooth things over. In fact, it fired up more critics, especially NFL insider Dianna Russini, who went full throttle with a piece calling out Brady for acting less like a silent investor and more like the dude running the whole front office. According to Russini, some execs are flat out baffled. One reportedly said, "What does he want to do? Owners own, coaches coach, players play, broadcasters broadcast. You can't do it all." But Brady seems to be trying. And here's the kicker. His Fox role might give him a peek behind the curtain into opposing teams. Think about it. He's got access to production meetings, practice walkthroughs, inside chatter, stuff most owners never sniff. One rival owner even said, "You don't think he's getting info from the crew that is allowed at practice? Of course he is." Yikes. This all smells like a potential conflict of interest, and it's giving folks flashbacks to the whole Patriots get special treatment narrative. The NFL swears it's all good, but that's not flying with people who've been around the league long enough to know when something feels off. Russini wrapped up her piece with a brutal hypothetical. What would Brady and his ultra-secretive Patriots have said if another owner pulled this? The answer's obvious. Brady would have lost it. And that's why this whole situation is so messy. It's like the rules don't apply when your name is Tom Brady. So now, unless the NFL decides to actually tighten things up, the GOAT's just going to keep riding that blurry line between being a team owner, a media guy, and a shadow GM. But if that already stirred the pot, the scene involving Meredith and Geno raised even more concerns. All right, let's talk about the giant, awkward, butt-level elephant in the room after the Raiders' Week 2 letdown, those botched snaps. Yeah, that ugly little exchange between center Jordan Meredith and QB Geno Smith turned into a low-light reel against the Chargers, and if Vegas doesn't clean that up fast, they might be handing free possessions to the Commanders in Week 3. Here's what went down. Meredith was all over the place with his snaps. Some low, some wide, one literally bounced off his backside. It had Geno playing a game of where's the ball instead of running the offense. Now, Raiders head coach Pete Carroll tried to play it cool earlier this week. He chalked the worst snap up to Meredith trying to explode out of his stance too early. Basically, the dude got antsy, the ball hit his rear, and chaos ensued. Carroll did admit they need better consistency, but downplayed it like it wasn't a major issue. Chip Kelly, the offensive coordinator, also chimed in. Same page, different spin. He leaned into the communication angle, saying Meredith might have thought Geno was under center when he wasn't, which would explain why the ball went nowhere useful. According to Kelly, it might have been a one-off, but let's be real. It wasn't just one play. It was a recurring headache that threw off the rhythm all game long. Now Geno, ever the pro, took the high road when asked about it. He straight up refused to throw his center under the bus, saying the snaps didn't really affect him and that they're working to fix it. But come on, we all saw it. Those snaps were like a bad Wi-Fi connection. Nothing's working smoothly, everything's delayed, and it's frustrating as hell. Bottom line, this can't keep happening. The snap is the first domino in every offensive play. If that goes sideways, nothing else stands a chance. Whether it's a communication hiccup, a footwork issue, or just plain nerves, Vegas has to get that connection between Meredith and Geno locked in, because the Commanders won't be nearly as forgiving if this turns into a weekly theme. And what comes next is the real shocker. The upcoming game sets up a scenario nobody could have imagined. The Raiders are packing their bags and heading east for a Week 3 showdown with the Washington Commanders, hoping to bounce back and avoid the dreaded 2-game skid. But don't let the absence of Jaden Daniels fool you. This one's still going to be a dogfight. With Daniels officially ruled out, you'd think that might give the Raiders' defense a bit of breathing room, but Pete Carroll ain't buying into that comfort. He made it clear this week that even though they won't be facing Washington's starting QB, that just means more unpredictability. According to Carroll, the staff's been prepping for both quarterbacks all week, and whether it's a backup or a surprise package, they're bracing for anything DQ, Dan Quinn, might throw at them. Carroll kept it real. This Commanders team isn't one you sleep on. He gave props to Dan Quinn for flipping the culture and building a squad that plays with a chip on its shoulder. They're tough at home. They believe they can win, and Carroll knows the Raiders need to bring their A-game from the jump. No excuses, no distractions. Just lock in and go to work. One major name that's been lighting up the Raiders' defensive meetings this week? Deebo Samuel. Carroll couldn't stop singing the guy's praises. He called Deebo one of the league's elite offensive threats, and not just because he can catch. It's his versatility, his football IQ, and the way he turns into a wrecking ball after the catch that makes him a nightmare to deal with. Whether he's lining up out wide, in the slot, or even in the backfield, Deebo's a moving target who breaks tackles like a power back in a wide receiver's body. So the game plan is clear. Weather the storm of unpredictability at QB, keep Deebo from breaking loose, and most importantly, play clean, confident Raiders football. Vegas has the tools. Now it's time to show they've got the composure to use them when it matters. Brady is making noise off the field, the offense still has to prove its consistency, and now the team faces a true test. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a single update on the Raiders.